Tesla's NACS more than the plug. Until recently, the Tesla charging network was intended solely for the use of Tesla car owners. Then in 2021, Tesla began opening up its network in Europe and elsewhere to other EV brands using the CCS plug format. In the US, substantial funding for EV charging infrastructure is coming via the bipartisan infrastructure bill. In order to access a portion of those funds, Tesla last year began introducing a magic dock to its charging units, which provides an adapter to mate with a CCS charging port found on non-Tesla EV models. Having to retrofit chargers obviously adds cost, and drivers dealing with adapters is a hassle and often produces inconsistent results depending upon how the non-Tesla automaker has implemented its charging software on board the vehicle. Now in a move that takes Tesla's dominance even further, Ford and GM, the two other leading U.S. automakers besides Tesla, plus others, have announced that they will add sockets to their vehicles based on the Tesla format known as NACS, or the North American Charging Standard. This will reduce the need for drivers to carry adapter cables. However, unlike with gasoline pumps, there is more to EV charging than just the plug. For a charger to dispense electricity, a digital handshake must occur between the vehicle and the charging unit, which in the case of publicly available chargers then leads to a further handshake between the charging unit and some form of system that must authorize the charging session. In other words, merely plugging in doesn't necessarily cause electrons to flow. Therefore, a driver must have an account with a charging network operator, usually accessed via a mobile app. There are exceptions where a credit card or mobile payment method can be used instead of a network membership, and in the case of certain CCS-based vehicles, a protocol called plug and charge enables some level of automation. In the case of Tesla's proprietary network, an account must be in place with Tesla before charging can be initiated. With Tesla cars, this is all handled in the background by the vehicles themselves using built-in cellular transceivers, and the driver has no obligation to install a mobile app nor do anything specific other than follow the car's guidance to an available Tesla charger. This results in a seamless, trouble-free experience that is far superior to other charging installations or networks. Additionally, Tesla chargers are continually maintained and typically situated in well-lit, relatively safe locations. All of these factors contribute to the Tesla charging network being the preferable system. Ford, GM, and other automakers have decided that giving their EV drivers an experience similar to Tesla's is not achievable with the existing early adopter charging networks. Therefore, they are not only introducing the Tesla-compatible receptacle on their upcoming models, they will also work with Tesla to incorporate software-based features that allow the vehicles to communicate with the Tesla network similarly to the Tesla cars. This digital aspect is at least as important as their adoption of the NACS plug type, as it moves the industry towards better driver experiences and helps to promote EV adoption by making charging more seamless for a larger percentage of models. Much more to solve. In addition to Tesla's and the first mover commercial charging networks, there are well over 100 large-scale systems being built or planned in North America alone, part of a global investment totaling $170 billion. A portion of these funds will come from the U.S. federal government, along with direct investments by individual states and numerous major corporations. Some of these charging networks will be open to consumers, whereas some will be focused on commercial EV operations. Additionally, large trucks and buses, as well as construction and farming equipment, will require chargers with very high outputs, which are not achievable with either CCS or NACS. Plus, although numerous, the Tesla chargers tend to be situated where Tesla owners are likely to drive, which excludes large areas of cities and the country. Currently in the U.S., there are 130,000 publicly available chargers, including Tesla's and other networks. The National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure, or NEVI initiative, along with the Federal Charging and Fueling Infrastructure, or CFI grants, are providing $7.5 billion for state and local governments to install chargers in areas not necessarily attractive for commercial charging networks to operate. The goal of these programs is to add 500,000 publicly available fast chargers across the country. Where we go from here? Standardizing charging plugs and introducing automated digital access by vehicles are major steps in improving the EV charging experience in the United States. However, much needs to be done in order to meaningfully replace internal combustion as the dominant form of propulsion. This includes digitally synchronizing the many vehicles, charging units, and networks regardless of manufacturer or ownership, plus bringing the power utilities into the digital conversation to ensure that grid loading by rapid chargers doesn't adversely impact the grid, enabling vehicle-to-grid connections to offload the utilities when possible, utilizing physical world data such as meteorological conditions to accurately calculate battery range, establishing procedures for dealing with natural disasters, and formulating a national scheme for replacing fuel taxes with electron taxes so that roads continue to be maintained as zero-emission vehicles become dominant. The industry has grown rapidly from a handful of forward-thinking vendors into an EV ecosystem, combining technologies with governmental and commercial initiatives, which together are moving the industry upward into the mainstream.